It's deleting off Facebook. I think I can do it now. I'm 22 seconds on something, but I don't know if it's Facebook. Hi, I think yet again, we've no idea if I'm where I'm supposed to be. My Facebook keeps getting disconnected and it just keeps disconnecting me from everything. I am live, Jade. I can see myself now. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Happy Monday. I'm sorry I'm a bit late today. Although I say I'm sorry, I'm not really sorry. My kid got an award in assembly. My friends just asked me what it's for, and I've got no idea. I think it was to do with maths, but it was a courage award, so I don't know how you can have courage in maths. Maybe it's danger maths. So I'm half an hour late today because I am lucky enough to have the flexibility to go off and see my son get an award that I pay full attention to while I'm there. It's gone. I'm back, maybe. Honestly, I don't know why I'm doing this today. So today we are talking about done, not perfect, which is a phrase I throw at my clients a lot of the time because I feel like a lot of the time we're trying to get things just right or just do it brilliantly, and it can hold us back. It stops us from like getting on with stuff, especially like moving forward with the things that actually make the most difference. A lot of the stuff we're getting stuck on is entirely irrelevant to everything that you need to achieve. Like spending hours checking if my font's aligned on my camera presentations, which I do, is a total waste of my fucking life and stops me from making loads more content I could be making. So even if you don't get every specific detail right, it's more important that you finish the task. And it's figuring out where your line is, what you are willing to compromise on, be more realistic on, more likely, to achieve much more stuff. And perfectionism, it might seem like it's a good trait initially, but it's dangerous. It's dangerous to your mental health and entirely to your sanity. I think when I let go of my perfectionist badge, which I still fight to let go a lot of the time, the two badges I fight to let go of are perfectionism and stubbornness. Neither of them serve me when they are used without good intent. Like being stubborn is not a badge of honor. It holds you back and it's pointless. So 10 reasons today why done is better than perfect. I've got a lovely list in front of me because I'm super organized today. And by that, I mean, Jade shoved the list in front of me a minute ago. So number one, why around, I'm back, where you don't actually move anything forwards. I've spent hours in my office sometimes and I've gone back in the house and then wondered what I've actually done. I've got no results. I haven't achieved what I set out to achieve. And this idea, when you've got this expectation of perfection, you don't get things done because the fear of failure gets in your way if it's not exactly right, or you spend too much time perfecting the little details that are irrelevant, that nobody else would notice, that make no difference to the end product. Getting things done mean that you have results as it is. And these results are way more important to running a business than having everything perfect. There are times when that like irks you and it's okay. Like I've sent out emails with a typo or something in them and it hurts. Get over it. It's just not that big a deal. You have to recognize that so much of it is just our own ego on things. So number one, you get more results if you live by this whole done not perfect idea. Number two, my biggie is you avoid paralysis. Having a constant fear of failure. I was talking to someone the other day who is very much like, I have loads of ideas, but I don't get anything done. And it's almost that paralysis state. It's that constant fear of failure. You get stuck, you don't achieve, you don't move forward, you don't put any of your plans into action, you don't finish things. And in return, you choose to settle for not doing anything at all. And like, what's the point of all of that? If you have a need to get everything right, it stops you from deciding which direction to go in. It certainly stops you from walking ahead in that direction. So done is better than perfect because it means you avoid paralysis. Number 3, you can still fix your mistakes. Like this idea that once it's done, it's there forever. There are so many things, so many sales pages I've done, or my own edits on my website or blogs. Things like nothing's permanent. We have this real, I'll go right off on a tangent now. We have this real idea in our culture that everything is permanent. Like if I take that job, that's forever. If I get married, it's forever. I mean, no. This idea that if I do something, I have to stand by that. And I am absolutely for this idea of if you realize you've made a mistake or you don't like the outcome that you're getting, change it. I will be in my marriage for as long as I'm happy. And that's really, really important and healthy. But this idea is you can fix mistakes, you can edit things afterwards, get it out there and get it done instead of holding it back because you're trying to perfect it. So you can still fix your mistakes. Number 3. Number 4, sorry about my internet. I don't know what's happening with the internet today. It's just on and off. Perfectionism can so easily take you out of your business and out of balance because you are trying to create something that's unsustainable if you want to be successful. The need to have everything done in a certain way, and it's this part, a certain way, really, really impacts your mental health and your emotional health. I remember getting some advice once about I think it was, it was when I had a baby. I don't know if it was Charlie or Finn. It must have been Charlie. And this idea of don't always be the one holding the baby. And it was sort of the feedback was bigger than that. It was around don't always be the one who thinks you're the only one who can do it the right way, because there are a zillion different ways to change a nappy. Yours is not the most perfect one. But for us as perfectionists, we entirely buy into this concept that nobody else can do it as good as I can. It's not true. It's bollocks. It's a story we tell ourselves. And it makes us unstable. It allows us to cling so tightly onto something that we're not moving forward ever, and that then everything becomes dependent on us, and that's the last thing I want. So just doing your tasks adequately for most purposes is enough. It's more than enough. And if you can kind of get your own expectations out of the way, everything shifts. So much of perfectionism is about the expectations we've aligned to this. Which feeds nicely into this whole, you're more realistic. I cannot explain how many times I've taken on too much. And it possibly wouldn't have been too much if I just got on with it. But I didn't just get on with it. I wanted it to be perfect. I'm doing it now with slides for things. I've got a presentation tomorrow and I'm still faffing the slides. I'm like, they're done. That can be okay. The effort to push through something and decide when enough is enough is such a skill. And by doing this, you're setting a realistic outcome for yourself. Actually, you're setting a really healthy standard for other people. And it's one of the things I will lecture my clients on and work with my group on. It's this idea of just doing it. The standards can be very, very healthy, even if they are much lower than you are used to trying to achieve. I'm not achieving, because we're rarely achieving, used to trying to achieve. Number 6, you save more time. Like, it's a no-brainer. If I'm just trying to get things done, and I don't mean like sloppily and shoddily and inadequately, that's a lot of Liz. Just I'm getting them done because they're not that important in the grand scheme of it. I shouldn't be obsessing about one detail that may or may not be significant to the actual output. Learning to be content with things and getting them off your list saves you so much time in the long run. You're more productive if you just do a done not perfect. So I have a rule that I've shared with you before, is this idea that I don't sit at my laptop unless I know what task I'm working on. And this is really important because it's this is what makes me productive. I can have days where I'm clicking like randomly on different things, like, oh, just do that, just do that. And I'll be clicking for 2 hours, 3 hours. And then I'll like stop. I'm like, what have I actually done today? And I've done nothing of any kind of use, nothing productive. I've procrastinated, which is my next kind of point. But I've done nothing productive. If I sit down knowing what I want to achieve and give myself a short time to achieve it, that's where everything happens. I'll talk about that at the end. Let me just write it about my notes. Parkinson's law. If you could see my notes, you'll see why I may never come back to that. The next one. Oh, so this idea that no matter how hard you try, you can't have perfectionism and productivity together. They contrast one another. They are not good work companions. You cannot be perfect if you're being productive. And it's such a useful thing to have someone else with you where you can. So I can get stuff done and then Jade can faff around and make it nicer for me a lot of the time. That's really important because if I sort of believe someone else is finishing the end goal off, I can let it out my brain, which is highly useful. If Jade don't get it perfect, I don't give a shit. It's a really, really interesting concept. Is if I am creating it from start to finish, it has to be perfect. If I let myself go down there, which I do frequently. If I'm doing the outline a bit and then I send it off to Jade, if Jade doesn't get perfect, I don't even mind. Like, what's that? It's like the standard I have of myself, but I don't impart that standard on other people at all. And Jade laughs at me sometimes about how much I don't care if she messes something up. I don't care until I decide that I want to do it differently again. I'm never like upset that we've messed it up because it's almost like it's not on me. It's ridiculous. The standards I hold myself to are completely different to what I hold other people to. Madness. If you subscribe to Done Not Perfect, it stops you procrastinating. Like, this ties in directly with productivity, but a lot of people wonder why perfectionists have it in their nature, if we're going to say that, to procrastinate when they want everything to be perfect. Like, realistically, if we want it to be perfect, we should be getting on with it, but that's not how it works, because we get blocked on perfectionism. It means we have a deep fear of failure and mistakes. And when you've got this need for things to go exactly to your standards, you tend to do it at the last minute as you're scared of disappointing yourself or others. It's a rough fact, and it is an entirely true fact. If you subscribe to being perfect, you'll overwork. And this is like big number 9. What do I want to say? I can absolutely So I'm back, maybe. So I don't do it because I feel under pressure to, or I have anyone else telling me that I need to work. It is all a thing of I love my work. I take loads of pleasure in it, but I overwork, and there's nothing bad about spending your time at work. But the harm comes from when you don't do anything else. And perfectionists tend to busy themselves at work as it feels off when they're doing anything else. And I can entirely recognize that one. I feel lost for a little bit to start with if I'm trying to not work. Back on now and just see if I can do anything. Oh, I don't know if I'm still live or if I've come back.
Well, I think you're back now.
If you waited, then thank you. Right, I'm going to finish this, but I have no idea like what is happening with our internet right now. There are workmen all on the street, so I'm going to pretend it's something to do with that, but I have no clue. So yeah, stop overworking basically. And number 10, done not perfect. Subscribe to this, you'll avoid burnout. I've just been doing a big talk about burnout that I'm delivering tomorrow. It's kind of about burnout. But there's so much that comes with this. It is the most dangerous place to get yourself into because it can take a long time to come back out of that. Recognizing when you're getting near burnout, so important. Okay, I'm going to stop because I don't know if I'm going to keep getting cut off or not. Thank you if you did stick it out and you've stayed with me for this. I'll see if I can edit it on the YouTube version so that there's at least not some big massive gaps in it. If you've got any questions, post them in the comments. Oh, I was going to talk about Parkinson's law, which if you can see my writing, you can clearly see that's what that says. Parkinson's law is this idea that the amount of time you have will be filled with your work. So if you hello Donna, if you've been watching this from the start, you're just fab because I just cut out about 50 times. So thanks. Parkinson's law is the idea of whatever work you have will be expanded to fill the time that you have. So if you give yourself an hour to do something, you'll do it in an hour. If you have a talk coming up in a month, and there's a few of us, you will be doing your slides the day before. And I recognise that in myself so much. I just heard Jade snort in the background because so many times she comes in and that's exactly what I'm doing. So yeah, this idea of Parkinson's law, to be productive and to get into this done not perfect idea, please like set yourself really short deadlines. So even if they're self-imposed, I will sit down at my laptop and decide I have an hour to do this and then I'm done. And see if you can almost trick yourself along the way. Hey Jade, again, thank you. If you've managed to stay on this while it all cut off, I really appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna go. I'll see if I can like shorten the YouTube one down and cut out all the dodgy bits. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you. Have a great week. We've got all sorts going on this week. So it's a really lovely week. And then a load of us from Filthy Business are going to see Ruby Wax in Chesterfield on Saturday night. There is a spare ticket. I think Faye said she'd got a spare ticket. So if anyone wants to come that hasn't booked, Donna, I'm looking at you, in fact, or Jade Water. We've got a spare ticket in our little group, and we're going for tea before it. This is one of the only times you'll ever get to socialise with me because I don't go out of the house, as we all know. So you either see me at a business event or I decided I was going to Ruby Wax. Does anyone want to come? And now there's a few of us. So yeah, let me know if you want Faye's ticket and I will connect you. And then it's Strategy Day on Monday. So I think lots of you are coming on Strategy Day. Donna, Ruby Wax is Saturday night.
She's away, I think, isn't she? She's not coming.
No, not that Donna, other Donna. Too many Donnas. No, it's Saturday night and Donna is coming. Yeah, Saturday night, Monday, Strategy Day. If anybody wants to come, I think there are 10 of us or 11 of us so far. I gave Sharon the numbers for food the other day. So you're still not too late for that if you want to come. All right, I'm going to go because I feel like really like shook up now that I've been talking to black screens and cut off. So I think there's a whole section in the middle where I've no idea if you can just hear me and Jade ranting in the background. So I'm going to go check that out. That's fun. All right, ladies, have a fab week and I will see you all soon.